Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the new trailer that just came out for the Black Widow movie. If you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. It's labeled as a special look, because the previous trailer was a teaser trailer, so this isn't technically the official trailer 1, I don't think. So maybe that still means we're going to get 2 more trailers after this, or maybe just 1. I don't know how they're going to do it. But obviously we get some of the stuff we saw in a teaser trailer, but a lot more too. I think it's interesting, like them kind of, obviously, Natasha being back with her family, in particular her sister. And I think that's going to, it kind of dives into that a little bit more. Because like for Natasha, it's like, I'm on the run, because for her, she's like, despite everything, despite my background and everything, I changed. I became a better person, and she felt good about the work that she was doing. She felt like, oh, I'm not just doing what I was doing before. I'm not a killer anymore. Which her sister kind of reminds her is like, no, don't get it twisted. We're both still killers. It's kind of like, no matter how much you want to tie it up in a little bow and all that, you can't change who you are, who they are. And I think that's going to be an interesting element. Because I guess, because I knew this would deal with the Black Widow program, but I guess in my head I was thinking like, that would be more so in the past thing. I guess I should have realized that it was going to be a present thing. So that's going to be interesting, her literally crossing paths with other Black Widows. I wonder if it's supposed to be in any slight correlation to, Civil War, how like, all those other like basically other super soldiers were created, but they were never used. They were all killed. I wonder if it's supposed to be kind of some parallel to that, where it's like you never got that with Civil War, but you're going to definitely get this with Black Widow, her facing off against other Black Widows. And obviously that's a neat element when you think about it too, because literally Natasha is literally going up against people who are her. She's going up against herself, who she was. Like, obviously this is her, like, once again, like after the events of Civil War, and over that time she's grown into the person that we've kind of, come to know. Obviously beyond that, she has even more character growth continuing going forward, but for right now, she's still grown as a character, and she's not the same person that she was before, everything really got started. So literally who you are now, having to face off against literal versions of yourself, because these are women who've been through the same thing Natasha went through, but she has the benefit of meeting different people and having changed and become a hero, no longer just an assassin or killer, but it's also interesting because when you think about the parallel, obviously the main antagonist is Taskmaster, who literally copies your abilities and your fighting styles and stuff like that. So it's like you're kind of fighting mirror images of yourself on both ends, and that's kind of interesting. And because I know Taskmaster is a mercenary, so he's a hired gun. So I'm curious, like, who's behind the whole Black Widow program? Is it everyone that was behind it all those years ago with Natasha? So even more further proof of confronting your past, or did someone else? Like, did it kind of do like a little bit of a Bourne situation of like the program was shut down, but then it got picked up again by someone else? Has it secretly been going on this entire time? Like, that's what because Natasha's here because she's on the run, sure, but is it because she was also like, well, this is an opportunity, I need to face my past? So is it because the Black Widow program has been going on the entire time, or did she kind of leave all that behind because maybe the last time she was home, she burned the program to the ground? Maybe potentially, or maybe this is her burning the program to the ground. I'm curious to see how that kind of ends up happening in the story. I'm also curious, like, I don't think Taskmaster's identity is much of a thing in the most iterations. He's a dude. I mean, I know he has his backstory and stuff, but I don't know if it necessarily will have any consequence to the movie. That's why I'm kind of wondering, because I think some people had suggested maybe there might be a reason, like with Taskmaster too. Like, the fact is that his identity might play some role in it, like who's beneath the mask might be like some significance within the confines of the story. I don't know if that's an angle they're going to go down or not. It might just be like, oh, there's a Taskmaster, and just kind of leave it at that. We'll kind of see how they end up playing it in the movie. But it was pretty interesting seeing, obviously, him and Natasha go toe to toe, and even at one point we see him kind of throwing the shield like Cap. And because I'm not that familiar with Taskmaster, like I said, I got the gist of his abilities, but I don't know the full scope of it, because I know he only has to see you once to kind of get he has that muscle memory, he has that eidetic memory. I think that's the terminology, I could be wrong, but he's able to copy whatever you're able to do. But I'm curious, he wouldn't have to see it firsthand, because part of me was wondering, well, if he's able to throw the shield, that must mean him and Cap have crossed paths at some point in time. Or it could just be that he's seen footage of Cap fight, because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of footage in this universe of all of the Avengers fighting, especially because someone has suggested like he's using a bow and arrow. So I was like, maybe he's just well trained for bow, maybe he's copied people who are very good with bows, or he's crossed paths with Clint in the past. That's kind of what I'm wondering about. Well, but like I said, another aspect that we'll kind of have to see whether there ends up being more to that or not. Whether it's just, like I said, he could just be simply training with a bow because he copied other people who were good with a bow, or maybe that's just his own. Because I'm curious what his baseline skills are outside of copying people's skills. To kind of see all this kind of, you know, together, you know, like family. It's, you know, like I brought up in the previous teaser trailer just about how the whole, like, oh yeah, family being what it is, that, you know, it's like, oh, her kind of leaving behind her newish family to basically help bring back together her old family, you know. So I like that correlation. And obviously just the hand-to-hand combat, you know, obviously the vibe everyone gets is very Winter Soldier-ish. So, you know, it's gonna be neat to see kind of a lot of, you know, a full-blown movie, just straight up like hand-to-hand combat, gun play type of, you know, stuff. Probably plenty of car chases and, you know, type of situation. So I'm like, as I said before, kind of like got that Bourne / you know, Mission Impossible kind of feel to it. So just kind of reinforces how I already felt that I'm very excited for this movie. So obviously these are just my thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to get to know your thoughts. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, all life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good